In this ebook, you will learn how to study smarter with the SMART study strategies. Let us begin. Chapter 1. Set clear goals. At the outset of our exploration into smarter study strategies, this chapter lays the foundation by illuminating the critical role of goal setting. It opens by challenging the conventional approach of broadly stating intentions such as "I'll study biology." Instead, the chapter urges learners to hone in on specificity, encouraging goals like "I'll understand the process of photosynthesis and its ecological importance." By defining clear and achievable objectives for each study session, learners not only provide structure to their learning but also imbue it with purpose. The chapter unfolds as a guide, illustrating how setting specific goals serves as a roadmap, offering a clear trajectory for focused learning and measurable progress. Furthermore, Chapter 1 underscores the psychological impact of clear goal setting on motivation and engagement. It delves into how well-defined goals act as motivators, propelling learners forward with a sense of direction and accomplishment. The narrative invites learners to reimagine their study sessions as purposeful endeavors rather than routine tasks. This shift from vague aspirations to precise goals transforms the learning experience from a passive absorption of information to an active pursuit of knowledge. In essence, the chapter on setting clear goals becomes a catalyst for a mindset shift, encouraging learners to approach their studies with intention, making each session a purposeful step toward academic success. Chapter 2. Create a schedule. Building upon the foundation of goal setting, this chapter delves into the art and science of time management. It commences by acknowledging that effective studying is not solely about the quantity of time invested but the strategic allocation of that time. The chapter introduces the concept of a well-organized study schedule as a powerful tool for maximizing learning potential. Learners are encouraged to identify their peak productivity times, aligning challenging subjects with periods of heightened focus. This approach ensures that the cognitive demands of complex material are met when mental faculties are at their prime. In essence, the chapter serves as a guide, helping learners craft schedules that harmonize with their natural energy rhythms and optimize the efficiency of study sessions. Furthermore, Chapter 2 emphasizes that a study schedule is not a rigid constraint but a flexible framework adaptable to individual preferences. The narrative explores the psychological impact of a well-structured schedule, shedding light on how it fosters a sense of control and predictability. By transforming study sessions into manageable blocks aligned with personal energy levels, learners not only enhance concentration but also alleviate the stress often associated with overwhelming workloads. In essence, this chapter on creating a schedule becomes a blueprint for a balanced and sustainable approach to learning. It encourages learners to view time as a valuable resource to be managed with intention and purpose, guiding them toward a harmonious integration of effective study habits into their daily lives. Chapter 3. Use active learning techniques. Transitioning from the realm of passive learning, this chapter introduces the transformative power of active engagement with study material. It initiates with the recognition that learning is not a passive reception of information but an active, participatory process. The chapter advocates for techniques such as summarization and teaching as dynamic methods to deepen comprehension. By summarizing complex concepts in one's own words, learners move beyond surface-level understanding, consolidating information in a way that resonates with their unique perspective. Additionally, the chapter underscores the effectiveness of teaching the material to someone else, emphasizing that this process not only reinforces the learner's understanding but also highlights gaps in knowledge. In essence, the chapter serves as a guide to a paradigm shift, encouraging learners to move from being recipients of information to becoming active architects of their own understanding. Furthermore, Chapter 3 introduces the concept of flashcards as a powerful tool for active learning. The creation of flashcards with questions on one side and answers on the other transforms study sessions into interactive experiences. This deliberate engagement requires learners to recall information from memory, reinforcing neural connections and aiding long-term retention. The narrative within the chapter unfolds as an invitation to embrace active learning not as an additional burden but as a strategy that fundamentally reshapes the learning experience. By weaving active techniques into their study routines, learners not only enhance comprehension but also cultivate a more enduring relationship with the material, paving the way for a more profound and lasting mastery of the subject matter. Chapter 4. Utilize multiple resources. As we venture deeper into effective study strategies, this chapter advocates for a diverse and comprehensive approach to learning. It begins by challenging the notion that a single resource can capture the complexity of any subject. The chapter introduces the idea of combining traditional textbooks with a spectrum of resources, such as online materials, videos, and supplementary readings. By diversifying the learning experience, learners gain a multifaceted understanding of the subject matter. For example, pairing textbook readings with educational videos provides not only textual but also visual and auditory dimensions to the learning process. This chapter acts as a guide, encouraging learners to view learning as a rich tapestry woven from various threads, each contributing to a more holistic comprehension of the material. Furthermore, Chapter 4 explores the symbiotic relationship between different learning resources. It emphasizes that the integration of diverse materials caters to various learning styles, ensuring a more inclusive and personalized learning experience. The narrative within the chapter unfolds as a call to expand one's learning toolkit, urging learners to venture beyond the confines of traditional study materials. By embracing a multitude of resources, learners not only enrich their understanding but also cultivate a curiosity that transcends the boundaries of a single medium. In essence, this chapter becomes a compass for learners, guiding them towards a more expansive and interconnected approach to acquiring knowledge. Chapter 5. Take breaks strategically. Recognizing the human mind's limitations for sustained focus, this chapter introduces a nuanced approach to studying by incorporating strategic breaks. It commences by dispelling the notion that continuous work yields optimal results, emphasizing that the brain operates most efficiently when given intermittent periods of rest. The Pomodoro technique presented in this chapter serves as a practical strategy. Studying intensely for 25 minutes followed by a brief, rejuvenating break ensures that concentration levels remain sharp throughout the session. This approach reframes breaks not as distractions but as vital components in maintaining cognitive performance, preventing burnout, and sustaining overall productivity. In essence, the chapter transforms the perception of breaks from indulgences to strategic tools, highlighting their crucial role in sustaining mental acuity during study sessions. Furthermore, Chapter 5 explores the psychological benefits of strategically timed breaks. It delves into how brief intermissions allow for mental recharge, fostering a refreshed mindset and heightened creativity. By incorporating strategic breaks, learners not only enhance their focus but also cultivate a more positive and sustainable relationship with their studies. The narrative within this chapter serves as a reminder that effective studying is not solely about the time spent but the quality of that time. By strategically integrating breaks into study sessions, learners elevate their efficiency and create a study routine that aligns with the natural ebb and flow of cognitive energy. Chapter 6. Practice Retrieval. In the vast landscape of effective study techniques, the concept of retrieval practice stands as a stalwart strategy. The chapter begins by recognizing that learning is not a one-way street, it's a dynamic interaction with information. Retrieval practice involves actively testing oneself on the material at regular intervals. This method not only serves as a gauge of understanding but, more importantly, as a mechanism for strengthening memory. By recalling key concepts from memory before revisiting notes, learners engage in a proactive process that moves beyond surface-level familiarity. The chapter underscores the transformative power of this practice, emphasizing how it elevates knowledge retention from a mere acquaintance to a profound and lasting mastery. Continuing the exploration, the chapter delves into the psychology of retrieval practice, highlighting its role in reinforcing neural pathways. Through the repetition of recall, learners not only solidify their understanding of the material but also identify areas that may require further attention. This self-assessment aspect becomes a compass, guiding the learner toward targeted areas of study. The narrative within Chapter 6 encourages learners to view retrieval practice not as a burdensome task but as a dynamic tool for sculpting a robust memory framework. Ultimately, the mastery achieved through retrieval practice transcends the immediate demands of exams. It becomes a lasting reservoir of knowledge ready to be drawn upon in future academic and real-world scenarios. Chapter 7. Apply the Feynman Technique. This chapter introduces a powerful learning strategy named after Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. At its core, the Feynman technique advocates for the art of simplification as a means of deepening understanding. The chapter commences by emphasizing the value of clear, concise explanations in the learning process. Learners are encouraged to take complex concepts and express them in plain language as if they were teaching these ideas to someone unfamiliar with the subject. This act of simplification serves a dual purpose. It illuminates the learner's true comprehension of the material while also spotlighting any gaps in their knowledge. The Feynman technique, therefore, is not just a tool for effective teaching but a diagnostic instrument for the learner to identify and fill in the blanks within their understanding. Furthermore, the chapter delves into the metaphorical act of teaching a friend with no background in the subject, a key element of the Feynman technique. This exercise not only reinforces the learner's grasp on intricate ideas but also fosters a deeper connection with the material. By transforming complex jargon into accessible language, the learner not only conveys understanding but internalizes it more profoundly. The Feynman technique, as revealed in this chapter, is not confined to academic realms alone. It extends into the practical application of knowledge. It becomes a guide for navigating the complexities of real-world challenges by instilling a clarity of thought. Ultimately, by mastering the art of simplification, learners employing the Feynman technique emerge not just as knowledgeable individuals but as effective communicators and problem solvers in both academic and professional spheres. Chapter 8. Organize your study space. The significance of the study environment takes center stage in this pivotal chapter. It commences by underscoring that the physical space in which one studies can significantly impact concentration and productivity. A cluttered and disorganized space can serve as a breeding ground for distractions, hindering the learning process. The chapter advocates for the creation of a dedicated and organized study space, free from unnecessary items and disturbances. By curating an environment with only essential materials, learners can cultivate a focused and conducive atmosphere for effective studying. Moreover, strategic tools such as noise-canceling headphones are introduced as allies in maintaining concentration amidst potential external disruptions. Furthermore, the chapter explores the psychological dimensions of an organized study space. It delves into how a tidy and well-arranged environment can positively influence mindset and work habits. The act of organizing one's study space is presented not as a mere chore but as a deliberate step towards optimizing cognitive functions. By fostering a space that aligns with the learner's goals, the study environment becomes a silent collaborator in the learning journey. The narrative within Chapter 8 unfolds as a guide, prompting learners to assess and adjust their study spaces to best suit their needs. Ultimately, an organized study space is not just a physical arrangement, it becomes a reflection of the learner's commitment to their studies and a catalyst for enhanced focus and productivity. Chapter 9. Use technology wisely. Navigating the digital landscape of learning, this chapter embraces the role of technology as a powerful ally when harnessed judiciously. It commences by challenging the perception that technology is inherently distracting, emphasizing its potential as a facilitator of effective study habits. The chapter introduces applications and tools designed for note-taking, organization, and collaborative studying, presenting them as instruments to enhance the learning experience. NCE. Platforms such as Evernote or OneNote exemplify how digital note-taking can streamline organization, making information retrieval more efficient. The narrative within this chapter unfolds as a guide, inviting learners to view technology not as a hindrance but as an enabler, offering a wealth of resources to augment their academic journey. Furthermore, Chapter 9 explores the collaborative aspect of technology in the learning process. It delves into how apps and tools can facilitate group studies, encouraging learners to share insights and collaborate on projects. By leveraging technology wisely, learners not only enhance individual understanding but also tap into the collective knowledge of a global community. The chapter serves as a reminder that technology, when used judiciously, becomes a dynamic companion in the pursuit of knowledge, connecting learners to vast networks of information and fostering a collaborative and interactive learning environment. Chapter 10. Review and Reflect. In the culminating chapter of our journey through effective study strategies, emphasis is placed on the cyclical nature of learning through regular review and reflection. The chapter begins by recognizing that learning is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. It advocates for the intentional integration of moments dedicated to revisiting previously learned material. This practice serves as a reinforcement mechanism, preventing knowledge from fading into the recesses of memory. By engaging in regular reviews, learners not only solidify their understanding but also identify areas that may require additional attention, creating a continuous feedback loop for improvement. The narrative within this chapter unfolds as an invitation to view review sessions not as tedious repetitions but as proactive measures to embed knowledge and refine mastery. Furthermore, Chapter 10 explores the reflective component of the learning journey. It encourages learners to take a few moments at the end of each week to reflect on what they've learned. This reflective pause serves as an opportunity to celebrate accomplishments, assess study strategies' efficacy, and set intentions for the upcoming weeks. The chapter positions reflection as a cornerstone of metacognition, enabling learners to gain insights into their own learning processes and make informed adjustments. In essence, this final chapter serves as a guide to weave review and reflection into the fabric of the learning routine, ensuring that the journey towards academic success remains dynamic, adaptive, and personally fulfilling. Let's now overview what we just learned. In the journey through Smart Study Strategies, Unlocking Your Academic Potential, we've explored 10 dynamic tips crafted to transform your approach to learning. Beginning with the pivotal importance of setting clear goals, we emphasized the significance of precision over vagueness. By delineating specific objectives for each study session, you not only provide a roadmap for your learning but also cultivate a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Moving on, the creation of a well-organized study schedule emerged as a linchpin for effective learning. Aligning study sessions with your natural energy peaks ensures optimal cognitive performance. We recognize the importance of not just managing time but also managing energy, thus maximizing the efficiency of each study moment. Active learning techniques took center stage in Chapter 3. Passive reading was dismissed in favor of dynamic engagement. By summarizing concepts in your own words and teaching them to others, you elevate your comprehension and ingrain the material in your memory. The introduction of flashcards as interactive learning tools further solidified the notion that learning is an active, participatory process. The diverse learning landscape was explored in Chapter 4, encouraging the utilization of multiple resources. Textbooks, online materials, videos, and supplementary readings were presented not as alternatives but as complementary tools. The amalgamation of these resources offers a multidimensional understanding of the subject matter, catering to diverse learning styles. Strategic breaks were championed in Chapter 5. The Pomodoro technique, with its focused intervals and rejuvenating breaks, emerged as a potent strategy to maintain concentration and prevent burnout. Acknowledging the human mind's need for intermittent rest, we reframed breaks as allies rather than distractions, emphasizing their role in sustaining peak cognitive performance. Chapter 6 urged us to practice retrieval as a means of reinforcing learning and enhancing memory. Testing ourselves on the material at regular intervals not only gauges our understanding but also identifies areas requiring further attention. This proactive approach ensures that knowledge retention transcends mere familiarity, paving the way for true mastery. The Feynman technique took the spotlight in Chapter 7, championing the art of simplification. By explaining complex concepts in plain language, we not only deepen our understanding but also uncover gaps in our knowledge. The metaphorical act of teaching a friend with no background in the subject fosters clarity and cements our grasp on intricate ideas. The significance of an organized study space was highlighted in Chapter 8. A clutter-free environment, coupled with strategic tools like noise-canceling headphones, was portrayed as pivotal to maintaining focus and productivity. Recognizing that our surroundings significantly influence our mindset, we underscored the importance of curating a dedicated study haven. Chapter 9 encouraged the judicious use of technology. Leveraging apps and tools for note-taking, organization, and collaborative studying was presented as a means of enhancing the study experience. When wielded wisely, technology becomes a facilitator rather than a distraction, streamlining the learning process. As we navigated through the chapters, the recurrent theme of reflection and review emerged in Chapter 10. This final chapter emphasized the cyclic nature of learning, encouraging regular reviews of previously learned material. This reflective practice not only reinforces memory but also serves as a compass for the learning journey, guiding us toward areas that demand further exploration. In concluding our exploration of smart study strategies, we recognize that effective learning is a dynamic, individualized process. The tips unveiled in this guide are not rigid rules but flexible tools adaptable to your unique preferences and learning style. The journey toward academic success is not a linear path, it's a personalized expedition of discovery and growth. As you embark on this journey armed with newfound strategies, remember that patience and consistency are your steadfast companions. Experiment with these tips, fine-tune them to align with your strengths, and be open to adjustments. Success in learning is not a destination but a continuous pursuit marked by milestones and fueled by a passion for knowledge. May your study sessions be filled with purpose, your goals attainable, and your learning transformative. Happy studying!